M0FXB Hamtech, welcome back to the channel. So the whole world was talking about the radio that you can see in the middle there, the TK-11. Massive hype on this radio. And when you look closely at it, it's basically a Quansheng. So look at the actual screen architecture. Forget the monkey, forget all the hype that we've all been looking at. It's basically, I've got one here, a modified Quansheng, where the middle antenna SI4732 chip has been added, and then you could receive the HF bands. And then what they did, they added amplifiers because it was a bit quiet, and they tweaked it and they put filters in, and the different boards that have come out that we can fit eventually made it, you know, quite a nice modification, but took a bit of work, and most of us, including me, are very, you know, reluctant to start soldering quite small flimsy boards onto our radios. And you can buy these pre-modified for £50. So China are businesses, and they've been watching what's going on here. So they came up with the TK-11, yeah, which is, I think, is good. And the price, I think, is a bit high. It's near £60, but really that's what this is. It's a modified Quansheng. If you look very closely at the screen, you have to sort of forget the monkey and realize that this is a Quansheng screen, okay? And then, and then the next thing we saw was this radio come out, which I just grabbed, I've been tinkering with today, which is, I think, is a very good radio, which is the iRadio or the iRadio or the UV-98 RADTEL 860 radios. Very good, good software. I like the software. No digital. Again, the middle antenna and a board's been fitted, but they've actually used the RT4D screen, which is a very basic screen, but I know you can't really see it there, but carries a lot of information, and it's a good radio. No problem at all at radio. And they've got that one, even has a GPS module in it, and I can actually interface with my PC, and it looks fab. Yeah, so I am not complaining about any of the radios I'm talking about here. But then, completely out the blue, total surprise, what do iRadio come up with? The iRadio UV-98, which you can see there. I've got it on band scope. Now, I am being a bit tricky because you can't actually, when you're in HF mode, and I'll put it in HF mode, it's triple display, VHF, UHF, all of these. Actually, the TK-11, I'll have a look at the specs in a minute. I haven't seen what it says about airband, but let's just do this. We go into HF mode. It does take a minute to reboot, and then it starts to use the middle antenna. There is a bung covering that. Starts to use the middle antenna, and it goes into what we call HF mode, and you can preset channels and frequencies, and you can fine tune, and it actually works really well on HF. So do the modified ones, but I would say the RADTELs and the iRadios are better than the for me, my experience, are better than the self-modified Quansheng UVK5s. So let's have a quick look at the description here on the, move my waffling face out the way, like so. Quick look at the description of the TK-11, which the hype on this and the amount of people. Why haven't they released it yet? I can't wait to get it. It's a Quansheng with an SI4732 board. But the advertisers, whoever did the advertising and thought of this Teiko Kong stuff, I mean, even the fact that, you know, some people will go, oh, you haven't got the TK-11, you've got the TK, you should get the TK-11-8. There's no difference. It's just a bigger battery. It's hype. They've got this antenna that you can fit in the middle, which is basically no different than any other budget antenna, but they've got the one here where the antenna plugs in with a 3.5 jack in the middle. So I'm guessing that their middle connector, which is on the ATS120, is a 3.5 jack, and you can buy an adapter. I've got a little gold adapter here, I was just looking for it now, which plugs in and then converts to SMA. I personally think SMA would have been better. But here we are with this nice long trendy looking antenna, which you can use VHF, UHF airband. So it does clearly say 27 megs. And the question that people keep saying, and I can't even test this until it comes, and mine's about a week away, is will it transmit on upper sideband, lower sideband? Now, my experience with the iRadio that you can see on the left, or the RADTEL 880, is there's no way it can transmit when it's using the SI4732 chip, which is the chip that's doing the work for the middle antenna. As soon as you go over to the first antenna, that does VHF, UHF, and it does transmit on FM, CB, no problem, 10 meters, yeah? But FM, it will receive AM, but it won't transmit. So just scrolling down, see there's not much actual information on this section here. See if I can find a better listing, because that's all in Chinese. But the parameters that I'm seeing, 0.5 to 1160 megahertz. See if I can see a better listing with information. But I'm not seeing it. They're all advertising TXCB because it will, but not upper sideband, lower sideband. But let's find. I mean, even on a Google search, it says transmit FM. It does say 10 watt, and it does say 10 meter and 6 meter bands, 5 watts. So I'm just looking at the specifications here. Transmitting band 25 to 29 megahertz, 50 to 54, 136. 30 to 70, 174, 354, 90. And it does say receiving support, AM sideband, FM receiving band. You know, you've got a big wide area, 0.153 kilohertz to 1160 megahertz, and that's good, 10 watt power. And they all say 10, they do about 7 or 8. Just scrolling down, this is the actual TK website, and they're showing here receive band 10 watt, same information, dual reception, but that's monitor, no different than a Quansheng. 2500 milliamp hour battery, weather channel, spectrum analyzer, which we've seen before. It's the screen is a Quansheng screen. You know, really look close at this device. It is, you know, because the hype, I just cannot believe the hype on it's basically a UVK5 that's been modified. But they've probably done a really good job of modifying it, but that's what it is. And there's your little extras there. They've added a bit of blue. And I literally cannot believe the hype on this. I can't believe it, you know. But anyway, I don't think it will transmit on upper sideband, lower sideband. I think it's using the middle antenna, SI43732, and it's basically a Quansheng. It's a nice chunky looking Quansheng, and the advertising has chucked in some very clever, I don't know, this monkey face, which is cool, quite cute. But come on, guys, you know, and ladies, you know, like, how can you compete? Look at move my face out of the way. Look at the iRadio, and I'll show you the RADTEL. There's our RADTEL. It's the same, yeah, but iRadio and RADTEL are making their own firmware software. It's very similar, but they will have their own little tweaks, and RADTEL do not want to share this software with people that have got the iRadio, and they're saying they actually want people's order numbers, which I just think, nah, bad PR, just share. There you are. And I've also been told there's a possibility of APRS, and there's going to be a GPS model, so you might want to hang on for that, because I've got the iRadio. I want the RADTEL, but I've said to myself, well, I will get a RADTEL, but I'll get it when there's GPS available, because I may as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone, and a big thanks to iRadio, RADTEL, which company, where all these companies are. A lot of these radios are being made in factories in the same area, if you ask me. But that is just me just guessing. But check it out, and you know, 20 quid more, you get the color screen, triple display. 20 quid more, maybe 15, maybe 10, maybe the same price. You decide. Bye for now. 7-3.